Hi, this is Trent Smith,
And I'm Sarah Smith.
and today we are going to share our story with how we were able to abstain from sex before marriage. In telling our story, we are going to follow the acronym DIBS, D-I-B-S-S, which was used in another of the Chastity Chat talks. And so without further ado, here's our story.
D, we first made the decision to practice abstinence before marriage. And this was really important to us because we believe that God ordained marriage as a holy and sacred covenant, and we wanted to do it God's way, and that involved practicing abstinence before marriage. And I remember when Trent first asked me to be his girlfriend, I said yes, but during that same conversation, I said, but sex waits for marriage, and he was on board with that too.
I get involved in activities. Sarah and I, as we were dating and courting, we tried to find activities that we felt comfortable so that we could learn about each other and also not lead us into a road of temptation. So we tried to pick out good environments. We also would have dinner dates with other faithful couples that we knew, and that really helped us. As Sarah and I also had a strong devotion as practicing Catholics to our rosary, to Our Lady and the Rosary, so we would pray the Rosary each day, and that helped us get the grace to see what the Lord had in store for our relationship.
B, set boundaries. This was super important for us because we dated long distance. So we made the decision not to just spend the night over at each other's house. Even though it would have been easier, we made that decision that no, we were not going to share an overnight space together. So that involved different things, but when we went on trips together, we did not do that, as well as we decided not to live together before marriage, and that was really important as well. And I remember during the early time when we were dating, I said to Trent, and had this strong desire in my heart of not wanting to be loved for just my body. I wanted Trent to love me for my whole person, because there's so much more to a person than just the physical nature. And the physical can pass, but my whole person. So early on I told him, I don't want to kiss at first. I'd like to develop a strong friendship. And as our relationship progressed, so could the physical display of affection. But I didn't want our relationship to be dependent on that physical display of affection. And so we learned to communicate if we were leading each other too much into temptation, and learn to respect those boundaries.
S, support. Sarah and I, again, we dated long distance, so we had to make arrangements when Sarah came out to visit me, or I would visit Sarah, and we'd make arrangements ahead of time that we weren't going to stay under the same roof. And so we were blessed that we had lots of support from family and friends so that we could follow through with the decision that we were making, and that really helped us. Actually, the co-founders of Universal Chastity Education, Drs. Kim and Kinder Nosik, helped us in this process, as when we became engaged, Sarah actually stayed with them before we got married so that we could practice the decision that we had made. So we were very thankful for all the family and friends' support and the decision that we were making. We also, through prayer each day, again, that helped us with the support, and it ultimately, we could discern what God had ultimately wanted for us.
Say no to recreational drugs and excessive alcohol. We managed to avoid those places that would tempt us in that way, and we chose other activities to be involved with.
So by following these points, we were able to overcome the trials. It took effort, they were very real, and we don't want to minimize the fact that the trials don't exist, but by God's grace and by following these points, you can be successful. And we just know that it established a solid foundation for a successful marriage.